Hi, how you doing? This is my video diary, and I'm going to talk about my experience on making all of this stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to go straight in it because there's a lot of things to talk about. So if you find something useful, use it, and yeah, look into it yourself. Do what works for you. But for me, there's been a lot of things that I've learned from doing all this, and I'm just going to break it down to you straight. So when I was doing this, the first thing that I had to go through is when you're making a toy or anything that you're making, you always have like one idea and then you have to change a few things to make it work, and also realize the cost of it. And sometimes it seems like a cool idea, and then realize that no, it's not going to work. It's going to work, but it's going to be costly and it's going to be time consuming. So this is the reason why there's some things that I like about making stuff when it comes to toy making. I love creating things, but toy making is a nightmare. It hasn't been. I mean, it's easy for me now because I know how to do this stuff, but it doesn't change the fact that my experience of doing this, it's like, for example, if I was going to make models like this, and if there's a high demand for it, then I would use the silicone mold, get the silicone rubber to make the models. But if there's not a high demand, then I would use my LCD printer. Now, what you see here, this is PLA and this is SLA, and obviously this is PLA, and this is the model that I'm going to be printing. So I'm going to use my LCD printer to print the new models. When I was experimenting, this is the model that I was using to test out my painting skills. Obviously, this model was damaged, so I had to, if you could see the difference between this model and this model. See the difference ahead, his head? One's pointing, one's not. It's all flat. That's missing. Because yeah, when I was printing this off, I didn't put no supporters. I think I printed them upside down, or the way I've oh there was no support at the back. I don't know what happened actually. It was weird actually. I can't remember, but anyway, this definitely needs to be done because obviously now I can see cracks in this model. And this is another thing as well. When you cure the model, I do it 3 minutes just to be safe, and I make sure I wash the model 3 times. One with wash it out with a few things. Actually, wash it with detergent, then wash it with water, um, and then once that's done, air dry it, and then cure it. So it goes through different washes. So obviously, you use the isopropyl alcohol to wash the resin stuff on it, and then use detergent and then water, and then air dry it. Um, basically, I'm just going through the things that I had to remember. So yeah, it was 3 times because when I done it where I just use isopropyl alcohol to basically dry the model. What I'm talking, don't dry the model. We're talking about dry the model. So yeah, I use the isopropyl alcohol to take the resin off the model, and then I'll just basically dry it off and with water, and that's it. And then I cure it for. I didn't cure it long enough because obviously I wasn't sure if it was the reason why. No, it's just basically um, it needs curing. So that was the reason why. What happened is I used to cure it for only for 30 seconds, and that was not a good idea. So that was my mistake. That was ages ago when I was. There was models that I have up here that you can't see because it's um, learning from my mistakes from them models. That's the reason why I was seeing a lot of cracks. So using resin casting and using my LCD printer, what's the difference? To me, I'm going to talk about my experience on both. So I'm going to talk about the resin casting stuff, and I'm going to talk about using my LCD printer. I feel that I get better results using my LCD printer. Yes, it's messy, because let's just face facts. You will get resin on your hand, even if you're using gloves. Even when you take the gloves off, you're going to get resin on your hands anyway. It doesn't matter what you do. It's costly, but I've noticed that the quality of the prints are great, and they look the same. It doesn't matter how many duplicates that you do. It just looks the same. With resin casting, is a gamble. You don't know if you're going to get good prints. You don't know you're going to get shit prints. So it's like, for me, I had to think about, if I'm going to do this, this is only for high demand. And because now I know how to do the silicone stuff, and let me tell you, it has been a challenge. It is a costly process of doing this stuff, but now I know how to do it. It's not something that I would recommend people to say, "Yay, try it. It's great." If you was going to do this, you would have done it before all this madness going on right now. So the time where the prices to get resin, and the days when you could just go out and just get resin. Obviously, resin is expensive, but now the prices are ridiculous. The 3D printers, oh my god! I mean, the time when I got my 3D printer, my LCD printer, my FDM printer, just getting the right equipment and everything, not just the printers, just getting the whole equipment to make this stuff. It's just, woo. But now again, it's still costly, because you're going to have to buy the stuff to make certain things, like the paint. That's still costly. You know what? It's just the small stuff that you think it's not that costly. It is costly, because you still have to buy the paint. You still have to buy, and I'm talking about the coating paint to make this. Because once you put the coating on that, paint all that stuff on top of it, easy. Especially if you're using your, like, I love using my airbrush pen, and I want to do videos where I can show you how it's all done. But like, again, I have to buy the equipment to, not the equipment, the materials to show you how it's all done. So this is the reason why I want to make practical videos and basic videos where I can actually show you how it's done, and then I will just give you a good idea how it's done. So practical will give you step by step. Basic videos will be like, this is how it is, blah blah blah. If you want to know more, look at the practical videos on my website when the time is right. So me doing this has been, there's been ups and downs, but I can look at it in a positive way. It's a great skill. I always say this every time, it's a great skill. I have this skill, now I can use it to do the things that I want to do. I can make anything. Matter of fact, I can make my own Iron Man suit. Well, it's going to be a lot of resin or a lot of 3D printing to do that, but I can make stuff out of anything. I can make anything. And the good thing about having 3D skills is the fact that if you wanted to 3D print, like if I see something that needs fixing, I can make something where it's possible now. I can make something where that I can fix certain things, where if I know that something's, like, I don't know, let me think of something where I could say, like a cup holder, and it's broken. I can make a new cup holder, and it's better than the one that I had before. So I can make one exactly, and I can do the measurements and do it in depending what 3D software that you use, you could do it in 3D Max. And there's another 3D software that people use as well, but I haven't had a chance to use that software. But like I said, use what works for you. 3D Max is great, so I make a few things in there that has helped me. And you can print anything, man. It's the only thing that I could say that will be costly is just getting the little small details, like the paint, the filament, the resin. Once you got the equipment, you just need to buy the small stuff for it. But at the same time, it still costs you money. Animation, they say 2D animation costs money. I can tell you right now, 2D animation does not cost you money. It's time consuming if you have other people to do it for you. But at the same time, if you're flexible and you know that, I can tell you right now, with anything, doesn't matter if it's animation, arts and crafts, working on video games or any other projects that you're working on, there's one thing that will change everything. It's all about sacrifice, avoiding distractions, and keeping yourself to yourself. You get better results